How's it going, guys? Bainey here, and welcome to video 40 of Facebook ads for small businesses, where I teach small business owners exactly how to run Facebook ads for their business so they don't have to pay someone like me thousands of dollars a month to do it for them. In today's video, guys, video 40, I'm going to show you how to use a CBO campaign with interest targeting. So it's a little bit different. Before I get into it, guys, if you're following along and you like the content I put out, hit that subscribe button for us, hit that like button, leave me a comment below if you have any questions, and let's jump into today's video. Your account should look something like this. We'll go over to the green button over on the left-hand side. We want to go to conversions, continue, and we just name it interest. As a bit of a rule of thumb, if you're going to have 3 ad sets in your campaign, you're better off doing $10 per ad set, which would be a daily budget of obviously $30. If you're going to have 4 ad sets, you'd have a daily budget of $40. So just try and keep that in mind. You can obviously do a lot more money with less ad sets. So say if you wanted to do $100 a day, you could have 4 or 5 ad sets. But as a minimum, try and keep it $10 per ad set. So that's all we need on this page. Just going to leave the bid in on automatic. Might just copy that. What we want to do is make sure this is set up. So website, purchases. I don't want to use dynamic creatives. I don't want to use offers. We can start this at 4 o'clock the next day. We don't want any custom audiences. Unless we're doing cold audience, we could probably exclude sub audiences, but I'm not going to get into that today. Age groups, we'll leave them wide open. Leave them wide open. This part here is where we're going to put our interest, but I'm just going to leave that for now. Manual automatic, I would just recommend leaving it on automatic to get when you're first getting started. All this, to be honest, depending on your product, I like 1-day click or view. It seems to work well for me. It will depend on your product you're promoting, but just keep it on, let's just keep it on default, 7-day click or view. And now we'll go back up, and this is where we put our interest. So I want to do 1 interest per ad set, and I want to have 3 ad sets. So in this one, I'm just going to go, the product I'm promoting is chocolates and stuff like that. So we can just do that. Put 1 interest in there. That's 1.2 million. That's quite large. You probably wanted to get a bit smaller than that, but I'm just going to leave it as is. If you wanted to get that smaller, you could just change your age groups if you wanted to. Let's do that. What age groups did I use? 18 to 28 was it? I think. Yeah. And then I want to put 2 ads. So that's the ad set level. And then I want to come over to the ads level. Okay, next. And I want to create the ad. Make sure your pages are selected. So I'm just going to pull some post IDs from winning ads that have gone well before, which I've had pulled up. Just saves me going through and creating an ad for you guys. I've showed you how to get these winning post IDs before. If you don't know, once you've posted the ad, you come down here and there'll be a section saying Facebook post with comments, and then when you click that, you'll get a page like this, and it's the numbers on the end. So there's that. You want to come down, you want to make sure your domain's picked. That's all we need on this page. So did I name that? Ads. What I want to do is I just want to X out of that, and I'm on the ads level still, and I just want to duplicate that ad because I want 2 ads in the 1 ad set. And what I'm going to do is I use the other ad. So Choc Buds. Paste that in there. So now they're all set up. We've got the one campaign so far, only the one interest, but I'm going to duplicate that twice. And then the one interest has got 2 ads in it. So what I want to do is I want to come here and I want to duplicate this once. And I just want to change the interest. So come down here. What I like to do is always untick that. I'll untick that this time. I want a good way to find interests that are very similar to this one is just go to suggestions. Desserts will do. $1.6 million. Still a big audience, so it's probably not the best audience to pick because it's too broad, but for example purposes, I'm just going to use it. So desserts, everything else stays the same. Everything else stays the same. Come over to your ads and just replace that. Replace this bit with desserts. Now that's done. We want to go back to so now there's 4 ads. So we've got the 2 ad sets. Both ad sets have 2 ads each. So we just want to duplicate this ad set again to make it 3 ad sets. Again, we just want to change the interest. So whatever the interest is, again, a good way to find it is just to, obviously you would do more research about what interests best suit your audience, whether you're a building company or a plumber or whatever you're selling, your interests are obviously going to be different. I'm just going to use these as an example. So suggestions, I could just go candy. It's probably going to be another big, it's only 700,000, that's not too bad. Candy, and then come over to the ads. And that's how I would set up a CBO using interest. So let's just go over it. We've got the one campaign, one CBO campaign, it's spending $30 per day. Inside of that campaign, we've got 3 ad sets. Each ad set has 2 ads and they're the same ad. Very simple. And so what I would do is I would let it run for 4 or 5 days and I'd come in and I'd probably check the ads first and I'd see which ads are not performing and I'll turn those ads off. And then I'd probably run it for another couple of days. I would also have a look at the ad set, depending on how well the ad sets are performing. If they're all performing semi-well, I would leave them. If one was obviously going really, really bad, I would just turn 1 or maybe 2 off if they were going really bad and one was going really good. Depending on how many sales I had. Because there's only $30 a day, it probably won't have that many sales, so it's probably a bit too early to make too many changes, but it just depends. If one could be just going really, really well and the others just suck. I would firstly come in, see what the ads are doing, turn the ones off that are losing, have a look at the ad sets. If one's a clear winner, leave it on. If we've got a clear loser, turn it off. And what you could do, depending how well they're going, you could either, if you turn one off, you could duplicate. Say if you wanted to turn this one off, you could then duplicate this one and pick another interest, or you could just leave 2 running and let the $30 budget go towards these 2 instead of starting a new ad set. I would probably recommend that because on a CBO, you don't want to make too many changes inside of the ad set because it tends to not work very well sometimes. It might be better off just to, if one's not performing, just turn it off, leave the other 2 running. If after a couple of days you've got a clear winner, turn the other one off and just leave one interest running at $30 a day and just see how it goes. And then, if it's performing well, let it go. And if you want to test more audiences, I would recommend starting another CBO and doing the same setup again. That's how you do that for interest targeting, guys. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to do a CBO with lookalike audiences. So it's a little bit different, very similar, but a little bit different. And that's it for this video, guys. If you're following along, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, leave me a comment below if you have any questions. Thanks, guys.